Well, Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu, will today begin a two-day visit to the Baartman district and Amatola water project. During his trip, he'll assist the Kouga Drought Intervention Project in Jeffreys Bay, a critical response to the area's drought challenges. The recent inauguration of 4 treatment plants across Kouga's towns marks a significant advancement in groundwater treatment. Our reporter, Anda Nqonji, is on the story. Anda, a good morning to you. Talk to us about what we're expecting to see happen today with Minister Mchunu's visit.
Well, a very good morning to you. We are currently outside the Jeffreys Bay water treatment plant where Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu, has had an opportunity to walk around and just see exactly what the progress looks like inside this plant. We are in the Kouga local municipality, where 57 million was allocated to make sure that the drought issues of people in this municipality are being dealt with, or at least tried to be solved. We have seen quite a number of people who have been complaining about water situation in this metro, but it seems the main issue is the number of, or the amount of water being used by locals compared to the amount that has been recommended in order to make sure that this municipality actually avoids day zero. But let's bring in the minister to find out what exactly he saw and how he feels about his assessment today. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you and to the viewers.
Minister, let's just first talk about what you've seen today. Obviously, you have received a briefing. You have been inside the plants and you were able to assess the situation. What do you think, how do you think it is right now? What do you think the progress is right now? And what do you think still needs to be done so far?
Well, I would say that in terms of the direction that we are taking as a sector, but in particular, Kouga municipality is taking as a municipality in terms of water security for the people here is the right one. Because all along they've been dependent on the metro for up to about 70% of their water needs. Now there was drought, and it made all of us, and them in particular, think a little bit, especially for the future, including possibility of any other drought. You know, climate change is amongst us all the time, so you have to think ahead, provide ahead, and make sure that you're on course. Now, with all the a little bit of thinking, they then came to a conclusion that they require additional capacity for their water needs, even going to an extent of reversing their dependence. Right now in their minds, they have 70% in mind in terms of provision for on their own, and then depend only for 30% on the metro, which is something that we want to support and go along with, because as I say, climate change is around, and we have to keep on thinking and so on. But right now they have built this plant, and that has added to what used to exist here, and that's why they are able to combine that, and they have new technology. They source water from the ground, process it here, clean it of manganese and other elements, and then get clean water out of that innovation. And that's the cause that we want to support. And it looks like it's something from which all of us can learn for other areas that are in short supply of water with the new technology that they are using here and so on.
And Minister, I know millions of rands were allocated by your department to quite a number of municipalities that are heavily drought-stricken here in the Eastern Cape. How do you feel about the progress so far? Do you feel like it was actually worthwhile? I know in this particular municipality they got about 57 million. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, we are still going to the chamber to get a fuller presentation. But what it looks like here is that you know, when you allocate money to municipalities, you always have a feeling that part of the money runs down their legs, and we have to look at it and where it disappears and so on. But what it looks like here it does look like it has been a worthwhile investment. And of course they have to do more because we have to look at the fact that the demand is about just above 7 megaliters a day, and here we're able to process, in terms of capacity, about 6 megaliters a day, but they are not yet at that level in terms of processing. They are about halfway, which means that they need to source more water to get into the system which is already there and then process and then try to meet the demand, because the main thing for us as water and sanitation at national level is to meet the demand, or even avail water more than the demand. In other words, more supply than demand potentially. That's what we need to have, so that you don't have people. You see, the problem with these people and this town and this municipality is that they are close to the sea. Now, in the imagination of people elsewhere, how do people who are close to the sea run short of water? Because it's like, if you are close to the sea, you can drink all the sea and so on, the whole sea. You're not supposed to run dry. It doesn't work like that. Water needs to be sourced properly, it needs to be processed properly, and then reticulated to households. But I think they are to the right direction, especially on lesser dependence on the metro. Of course, we're dealing with a unique situation here in Kouga vis-a-vis the metro. Long ago, whoever it was at that moment, say no, Kouga and so on, they have sources of water, but pump all the water to the metro. And then these people here must buy water from the metro, but they have the sources of water. So somewhere we'll have to come around and think properly and balance that situation. You can't own a dam and then you pump water to some other place and then you buy water from. But we'll get there. But what is good is that they have been innovative and thought that they can be independent, and that's what we are supporting. But we don't want to leave anyone behind, both on water and sanitation. We want everybody to be happy as far as what we are able to produce as a sector, what we are able to produce to satisfy everybody, and to ensure that even the rich, poor, young, old people must have water. We're chasing SDG 6, which says don't leave anyone behind, make sure people have water needs, especially on the quality side of water. I'm happy with what they were showing us here. They say they have all the assessment, they prove that the quality is indeed good.
And of course, Minister, we can't talk and finish, especially about the drought situation and the water situation, without mentioning water leaks. I know some municipalities like the Nelson Mandela Bay have gone on war with water leaks because it was just one of the reasons why we could not have adequate water, and one of the things that actually wasted water in the metro. How are you finding that project so far? Do you feel like municipalities are successfully fighting against leak, or is the turnaround time, if I may put it that way, at least much earlier than before? Because that was also a concern with residents to say that they've been sitting with leaks or pipe bursts in their homes, yet no one would come forward to say that we are willing to fix the situation for you.
Well, for the metro, we're still going there. We'll meet them later in the afternoon to check how far they are. We intervened here via Section 63 some time ago. We stopped day 0. At some point, we were 400 days away from day 0, and the Kouga system has improved a little bit. But it requires more than Kouga Dam recovering to run and manage water to the satisfaction of the department. So we'll go there, meet them, or with MSC Williams here. We will check how far they are able to manage the water well, especially on the leaks that they had. They had more than 6,000 leaks the last time we checked here. We were not happy with their attitude in terms of how much water they will be able to abstract at the height of drought. and metering, billing, all those matters, they are very, very important. They are part and parcel of how to manage water. So we will be giving them a report in the Metro, and we will exchange views. But we are signaling that we are going out in terms of Section 63 from the Metro, but they must then prove that they will be able to run. But here, we're showing the guys that are running this plant, well-trained, and they are articulate, and we see that they are able to run the system, and that's what we need. You no longer need a person who will go around and not knowing what to do, and just look at things and say, no, this thing is fine. No, this one is fine. That's fine. We need somebody who knows how to operate, how to maintain, so that whatever system we have, it lasts longer. And it is good for ratepayers, because they don't have to pay now and then for our negligence and then we abuse ratepayers by hiking rates for nothing. But all in all, we're in the right direction here in Kouga, but we'll get the whole report once we sit in the council chamber.
Thank you so much, Minister. Well, that was the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Mr. Senzo Mchunu, applauding municipalities across the Eastern Cape for finding innovative ways of ensuring adequate water supply despite the drought situation. He has also urged residents to continue using water sparingly and to not be deceived by the seemingly amount of water that they see around them. They will be moving, I understand, from tomorrow to Makanda municipality just to see the situation there, how it's like, as a number of residents have been complaining about water being shut or cut for weeks at a time. Residents, they have had it the worst. They have been complaining a lot. So they're just going to go that side to assess the situation, speak to the residents, and also receive a feedback on how some of the funds that were allocated are being used. But right now, from myself, Anda Nqonji, and camera person, it's back to you in studio.